Hello. That was odd.
Tricked you for a sec.
I had to throw something away. Hi.
Hello. Hey, Liquor, Ghost Hunter, Source. Source, thank you for the sub. Doc Seibel, hello. Vincent Vomit, Henry Cavill, Mo.
What's going on, Mo? Henry Cavill.
Just throw Henry Cavill in, like, no big deal. Jason, you're in the wrong place?
What do you mean I'm in the wrong place?
Foul Mouth Gamer.
Oh.
Keep it PG here.
Am I supposed to be in Chicago?
Oh, what? Is that today?
Is something going on today?
Oh, no.
A bunch of people called out saying they were in Chicago.
Yeah.
So the office is very quiet
we're really
today.
Cold. We can't come to work today. We're too far. We're going to be late.
The office is very, very quiet today.
Well, this side is very quiet. Business as usual everywhere else.
Teachmate, you're staring at so many internet famous people and I'm not there? Because I'm here being internet famous.
All the kids sat next to each other on the plane. They did? Did they post a picture?
Yeah, they all sat next to each other on the plane.
The picture of them?
I didn't see one posted.
Oh.
Maybe one of them posted on their Facebook personally. Oh. They don't send us stuff for
I've
promo.
gotten 0 pictures.
We've asked for them. I just asked for them again in Discord.
Yeah. A plain picture would have been easy to post onto our Instagram story. But no.
But no.
It's already there now. It's too late.
We get nothing. I did the rims.
Oh, in the Adepticon thing? Oh, nice that they're posting there.
I went back and did the rims with satin black just to show how bitchin' satin black is. Such a good color. A very deep black. These guys are done. Now we got to figure something else to paint.
Well, there it is. The picture, really cute, that I could have posted earlier today. But nobody sent me anything. I take this personally.
Horrible humans.
They're gonna torture me by making me look at the Adepticon chat all weekend.
Ghost Hunter, well, I used the primer first. I would normally do primer and then coal black. But now with satin black, ta-da, we have satin black. Back to the big boy. So how's everybody doing? Got T. Schmidt, who is obviously already at Adepticon, rubbing it in all of our faces.
Yeah, thanks, T. Schmidt.
Thanks, T. Schmidt. Oh, wait. I can't really say that, can I? Because I'll be there.
Yeah, I can. Thanks, T. Schmidt.
I mean, I'll be there.
Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor, hello. How goes it? It goes.
You're sat here sniffing glue. We're just a bunch of glue sniffers. Bunch of nerd glue sniffers.
No, I just have FOMO. I'm just sad that I can't be there. A little salty about it. I'll be fine. Captain Howdy. Hello.
Jen's jonesing to go work in the booth.
Mm.
She loves it.
The work part, not so much. But the in the booth, hanging out is fun. We have a gloss medium, Daniel Moreno. But not a satin medium. Do you have any plans on making a satin medium?
No, because that's what gloss does. You just add less gloss.
Well, huzzah, huzzah.
You can control how much of the gloss varnish you put in the paint, and the lower amount you put in, the more it just makes matte paint satin. You put in a lot, it makes it gloss. So
Mo, we need at least
Hey,
one
somebody
trustworthy
likes
person
us.
to stick around here.
One what?
Trustworthy person.
Oh, you talking about yourself again?
Yep.
Jen doesn't trust us.
The Moon Man, thank you for the follow.
She says we're untrustworthy. Probably right. It's not that we can't be trusted, necessarily. But kinda. It's that we definitely need, like, adult supervision. Start off with some Dark Sea Ben. The base layer sat down for the non-metallic on the shoulder plates here. He didn't have a whole lot going on. He's got these two shoulder plates and a little bit of chain link. Holding off of them. That's really it. Not a lot. Kind of weird. I'm realizing I didn't paint his ears. Not really good. Probably should have done that when I was, painting the skin. That might have helped. I'm going to have to go back and watch the VOD of the stream to remember what I did for the skin. The bummer about the way that I paint where I don't really have a plan is that I can't remember what I did.
Posted their picture.
You should let them have it in chat.
Go for it. Painting. Hello. Ghost Hunter said, Discord is asking for dark purple primer. Can we get a maybe on that in the future?
Yep.
I think we've already said that.
We said we think about it.
Mo wants to know the scoop on the matte varnish.
It takes the shine off.
Warpgate, you'll be able to get all of the paint sets that are currently only going to be at Adepticon. So we're starting out by just releasing them at Adepticon. But once we have the full run, then they'll be available on our website and in stores. So if you have an FLGS that carries the line that you shop from, they'll have the ability to get them at the end of April. Mo said, oh, really? Wow, if I had some for myself.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
We want it too.
Yeah. About that. We had to go back and look at reformulating the matting agent. And that's a fight to get right, because the more you put in to get it to be that ultra matte, the more problems you have with it, as a bunch of you have probably experienced if you've used anybody's ultra matte varnish, AK, things like that. They don't freeze thaw test very well. Have all sorts of problems. So we are looking at all of that to figure out what we can do to make ours better. We thought we had it. We did not have it. So back to the drawing board. What can I do here to do something new? Are there any of the new colors we could use? Bright pale yellow, but that doesn't get me where I want to be. Maybe we'll use dark ivory.
Those might work, Ryan Wallace. You could try. Or you could just tell them that they should email us at support@monumenthobbies.com and we'll give them the info.
A retailer?
Uh-huh. Here's
somebody who needs to carry our
this link.
paint?
There's the email address if you want to just copy paste it and send it over to them.
Someone who
Just
needs
tell them
to
it's
carry our
money
paint?
in their pocket.
Yeah, it's literally
Who wouldn't want that?
like printing cash. Carry Pro Acryl.
Scientologist said, was it ever decided when the second trainer will be available? Before, with, or after the new paints?
Technically, it probably should be before. We've got them here. We're already in production with them. We just don't want to muddy the waters with the Adepticon stuff. So after Adepticon we'll release, we'll get the... I need to paint one, so we have box art, so we can do the label. So maybe that's what I should be painting right now.
Would make sense to do it with paints, just so people don't get mad.
What's that?
People, don't love it when we release something and then 2 weeks later release something else. We should probably just do it at the same time as the paints.
Well, I gotta get the box art painted, so yeah, it'll be later on.
Ghost Hunter said, is it bad that I want to paint the second texture trainer more than the first one, and I already have the first one primed? Yes, it is bad. You don't have the second one.
They're all pretty neat. The first one's really good.
The third one is
cool. Oh, I showed everybody around here a sneak preview of the third one.
Have we talked about the third one?
No. I mean, we've talked that there is a third one.
Oh.
But we haven't done anything really teaserific about it.
Breakup Google said, I'm finishing up the maw pit that came with the Gorgers. It was challenging. Sprue was warped and the large pieces wouldn't join together. Had to boil the parts to get them to reshape to fit. It kind of sucked. The Gorger sprue also had a few larger pieces that suffered the same bend. Something must have happened to the box string.
That's what you had said. I think it was you that had said that yesterday, right? That you'd had some problems with it being gaps on some of the larger arm pieces and stuff like that. I didn't have those problems, but I've definitely encountered them in the past with GW Plastics from time to time. Just kind of a warped sprue type thing. That always sucks.
Nick Pye said, so when there is a big release like this, do you just bang out a single color for a couple days?
No, we typically do them in, like, whatever the set is, we'll do a little bit of every color so that we have them in stock, and then just go back and rotate through again. It's probably not the most efficient from a standpoint of, like, cleaning the machinery, because obviously if we ran the same color, we'd get more bottles before having to trade out and clean. But it makes more sense for just keeping it in stock and making it available. Start sketching out my light on here, playing around. If we have enough time, sometimes we'll do like big batches of one color and then move on to the next, but typically not. You gotta remember, one of the hardest things for us is that being a company of hobbyists, we want to see it finished just like you guys do. And so for us, it's like, what's the path of least resistance to get the new thing? If we're coming out with a new set of paints, we typically want to run, a little bit of each of the colors so that we have the whole new set so we can play with it. That makes it more fun. We would like to have fun too.
Yep, the longer arm pieces didn't fit at the elbow. It's like when the sprue warps for whatever reason, the larger parts suffer the same thing. Little parts are fine.
Yeah, I didn't build the maw pit or whatever it's called, right?
Yeah, that's what he's...
I didn't care about it. I don't know if I was supposed to. Like when I go to play Zambies, am I supposed to have that thing? Is it like a piece of terrain for my faction? Because I'm not gonna have that thing.
Erdu, hello, Al. Yep, old OG paint crew today. You own a store, you killed your own fun? Huh?
Aren't GW pretty decent about replacing stuff if it comes broken or warped? Probably not warped, but like missing pieces, yes. Warp, they typically tell you that's part of the hobby, put it back together. Unless you just show them something that just won't work, I would assume.
The Maw Pit thing is the centerpiece for the season the warband is introduced. You can throw other models into it for instant elimination.
Oh. Well, I won't have that.
Missing pieces, yes, unless you got it from a third-party store. They told me I was SOL. Did you contact the store, though, where you got it? Game Delay says, quick, you have until tomorrow.
To do what? Paint the Maw Pit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not happening. Good try, Mr. Delay.
Eggy Griff, hello. Quelanu, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Schmidt said, dry brush it.
Well,
Ace coat and dip, Jason. This is Noosh's moment to shine.
Noosh's moment to shine. What a marketing moment I'm passing up right this minute.
Corvus Thorax, yay, Monument Hobbies live stream on YouTube.
What is going on?
Love your paints. Was close to having the whole range until these new sets come out. Sorry.
We had I was on Twitch today, going around just viewing other streamers' streams, and in one of the viewers that I recognized was like, "Oh, I'm so excited to see you guys at Adepticon. I've got all your paints, so I'll probably just restock on stuff." And I said, "We have 18 new colors," and they just got real quiet. Like, you bastards.
Corvus Thorax, though, said that's not a complaint. Yes, we do still have our office off 3rd Street. On 3rd Street. Yep, right on 3rd Street. 3829, right by the VA. Go Sue, hello. Break Up Google said that they at least made this Warcry season terrain much simpler than last year's. Last year's endless tree variants and mold lines around the branches and rope bridges.
Oh, geez.
Yes, I cleaned them all.
It sounds kind of nightmarish.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. I love the terrain that they've made once it's done, it sounds like. Like I said, I haven't played the game. Except for a demo when it first came out years ago.
Ghost said I was in a situation today where I needed satin black and I had to use a non-pro acryl alternative. It hurt my feelings.
Well, traitor.
Soon, Gosu.
Traitor.
Gosu, you going to Adepticon? If you are, then it's even sooner. Froggy Sen said, we only use Pro Acryl in this house. We appreciate you. How's the empty office today? It's empty on this side.
Yeah, very quiet over here.
Gabe and Christopher are usually right there, and they're not. They're usually talking all day, and they're not today.
They're not. Very lonely. Where are
in the
my
middle.
people?
I usually only see Jordan during stream. Corvus said, very cool. I have a client right across the street from us. Perhaps I'll pop in the next time I'm out that way.
At the retirement home?
I know. I'm like, okay, the retirement apartment is right across from us, and then there's the ankle monitor place is across the street. And the
Is there an ankle monitor place?
oh yeah, they
I
used
didn't know
to
this.
like when we first moved in.
I didn't know this.
We had people who would come in and like they're not open because they had weird hours. It was like by appointment or something, and we had people that would come in and want to sit and wait in here because it was hot. I'm like, no, not what we're for. We don't have a place to sit for you.
Ankle monitors.
I love this. Game Delay said, I almost always edit my thoughts before I speak. I know, but you are getting the edited version. And the number of times Jason has said 18 more colors, and I've thought, screw you, has been every time.
Bastards. Those Monument Hobbies bastages. With their amazing paints.
Does it feel like 2018 here, huh?
Why would it feel like 2018?
Why would it feel like 2018? Yeah, to get ankle monitors put on and taken off, exactly. They and they do. I've seen them. I've driven by where they're just opening and people are lined up outside the door, and yeah, you see the ankle monitors on all of it.
Like for house arrest?
Yeah. Clarkatron said, imagine my sadness that all the paints don't fit in a single bag anymore. Must be made. Oh, Game Delay said, like, just like 2018, just Jen and Jason and a blossoming global empire.
Ah.
No, again, it's only this part, this small part of the building that's empty. The rest of it, everybody's still here. Business as usual. Everywhere outside of the creative area. Hopefully there will be paint tray foam and trucker hats available when the paints drop. What about hats?
Gotta get some more hats embroidered. I've been really lax about that.
Go back XL when. Have to be on wheels.
Yeah, right.
Not on camera, don't exist. I'm not 100% convinced there is more of a building than 2 comfy chairs, a painting desk, and a large cardboard box where Jabe and Chris wait between their cameo appearances.
Yes. You nailed it. Welcome to Monument Hobbies.
Ryan, they all want to be here. They all seem to like working. Maybe they're just faking it for us, but they all show up willingly every day, so don't have to, implement any corporal punishment or anything like that.
I mean, we do the corporal punishment just because we like it, but
I hear if you treat your employees well and pay them well, that they might enjoy working. Is this true? I mean,
we like to think
paying
so.
well is always a matter of perspective.
We like to think so.
Philip doesn't work, he paints in the office. I feel like he would be very offended by that statement.
He does paint a lot in the office, but only on his break.
On lunch, he's very good about that.
Like on lunch and before work.
Before work, because he gets here early.
I had to sit down with Phil a long time ago and be like, Philip, I don't want you working before it's time to be working.
Yeah. Strange how management always claims their employees show up willingly every day. Well, I guess that is strange.
Metal shoulder plate coming together? Dark Sea Bin and Dark Ivory are the ticket right now.
Philip has Jarhead working 24/7 disorder too. Weird. Lumberjack Tim.
Hey, Tim.
A source said, I'm so tired of CA glue drying in the tip long before I've used even half of the bottle. Don't you have a trick for preventing that?
We put up a little video, right? Because in the video we talked about the fact that the glue bubbles back up if you don't let it settle before you put the top on. Fluid dynamics in a bottle like that and the glue giving you all sorts of problems. It'll help prevent tip dry. But there's no real good way around it.
Tim said, I've got a second date Saturday with the girl I went out with on Friday. I'm pretty excited about this one. Well, good. Hopefully she is excited as well.
He's just trying to steal his teeth.
Game Delay said, I've had way more success with CA glue on my last bottles, but I feel like this involves wiping off the tip every time, occasionally hacking the dried paint off, and lying to myself about how well it's going. What? She doesn't like the grill?
Who would have thunk?
Sugi's 5,000, painting Lannister, so much red. Best undercoat for red. Tip. A tip for the best undercoat.
I guess it just depends on how you're hoping your red turns out, right? Like on the red cape here, I did it with the same Dark Sea Ben kind of greenish blue that I'm doing on here. Then I did burnt red and our new red oxide over that. but I wanted a very dull, moldy looking red, so the greenish helps with that. Mahogany, dark purple works really well. Purples, blues.
Jim, I like this one.
All very good.
Tadpole Jackson, hello. Froggy Sense said I need to figure out a good substitute for wet palette paper. I ran out of that paper and no place near me sells any. Buy a dry palette.
Well, dry palette or just parchment paper from the grocery store.
Yeah. Parchment.
That baker's sheets or something like that.
It's called parchment paper, not wax paper. But yes, it'll be in the same aisle where you find like the aluminum foil and like plastic wrap and things like that. Those who said I got these awesome disposable precision super glue applicators that go over the tip of the bottle. They're so handy and prevent the bottle from drying out. That sounds very cool. Gosu will post them in Discord. We don't leave the cap off forever, Source. Punisher said I've had really bad luck with CA glue. Tried to make some sprue goo and dumped a bunch of bits in mine, but it's not working.
Well, the sprue goo stuff comes from the plastic glue, not CA. Sprue glue you make from like the Tamiya extra thin stuff, which is CA glue. That's your problem. Tongue palette. No.
Oh yeah, there's Tim, or T. Schmidt rather, saying CA does not make.
Yeah, a lot of people swear by the parchment paper over the wet palette specific stuff.
Spitfire, that's backwards. You can bake with parchment paper. You don't want to bake with wax paper.
Right.
You also don't want to use wax paper in your wet palette.
Can't you bake cookies on wax paper?
I don't think you could, no, because it'll melt.
Oh, yeah, I guess so, huh?
But that's what parchment paper is for.
Yep.
So that it doesn't stick.
Aluminum foil, aka the foam texturing device. Yes, exactly. Yeah, you gotta have plastic cement. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No CA. You know, but isn't contact with air that makes it dry? Moisture, more so than anything, believe it or not. Right? Like if you just take water and put it on CA glue, it acts as an accelerant. So, yes, exposure to the air, but not for the same reason that other things, right? The evaporation part of it, like paint, but because of like the moisture and such. Roaring Oblivion, yeah, this is the Flame On. I used all the Flame On colors for the gold on the bracelets for him so far.
Look good.
Yeah, it's why skin, right? Because of heat. I mean, CA glue was originally invented to be liquid stitches. Right? For like field surgery and medical kits. I mean, it's still used that way. I've sealed more cuts than I can remember by having super glue. Liquid stitches. CAD bonder. Plastic clear gun sights for the RAF. That I did not know. Yeah, but don't eat the glue.
Definitely don't.
Don't eat the glue. Definitely do not eat the glue.
Glue your teeth together.
Don't eat the glue.
Not a diet I want any part of.
Oh yeah, super glue is great for cutting or closing cuts.
Oh, I was not reading that appropriately or correctly. I was reading it as you closed a glass door with super glue. Like you sealed a glass door shut and then tried to open it and broke the. I don't know why.
There's more dark ivory. See the build up here. Kind of sketching it on here.
CA glue for forbidden cupcake topping. Not a hair gel. Tom's Mini said, "G'day, dude, that is looking fine."
What's looking fine?
What you're painting, I'm assuming.
Hey, thank you.
Or you, maybe.
I'm already
Your
looking
hair.
fine.
Nice glass. Oh yeah, Tom's Mini said you are. The thumb is looking so good. So I missed the blonde wig. Do you have your blonde wig all ready to go?
I think Gabe took it.
Did he?
May have forgotten.
Is it different than the one that's on Dolores in the kitchen?
Is that it?
I mean, she's wearing a blonde wig.
Oh, well, then that's it.
Okay.
Dolores? Is that what we call her?
Yeah, she's the one from the Umbrella Academy.
Oh, okay.
Because when she doesn't have hair on, it looks the same.
Oh, okay. I did not know this.
It's been a while since we watched that show. We've been calling her that.
Well, the last season was so bad, we didn't even finish
It
it.
was rough. No, we did finish it. But
Did
yeah,
we?
it wasn't great. Jason looking particularly lovely today. He looks particularly lovely every day.
Wow. I am the pretty one. I really like this with the dark ivory and the dark sea ben. Gives it a neat color. Keeps the kind of seafoam blue or green, whatever you want to call it.
The last season was buns. Never heard that expression.
And it just wasn't good.
I admit, for a while after the Monument Hobby commercials, I thought Jason had a sister.
I do. None of them near as good looking.
Roaring Oblivion said, "Did using magenta as an underpaint on the skin change the hue of the final skin tone? I'm trying to understand the concept."
It's meant to give you a layer of color underneath that makes it feel like, there would be blood, right? So any of the reds and magentas that you use can make it look like, irritated, or just that there's the possibility of blood underneath in the arteries and veins. If you're talking about a being, creature, whatever, that would have red blood. So that's the goal for that color. The greens, yellows, and such are meant more for showing off fatty tissue. So I typically try to get those colors to go in areas where there's more fleshiness, less direct like muscle and such.
Pain in the buns, yeah.
But yeah, the magenta is meant for that.
Do
to give
orcs
it-
have red blood in the lore?
Orcs?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know.
Orc blood is typically in their veins.
I don't know. I think that's all kind of up to you, right? What do you want the blood to be like? If you had orcs, maybe their blood is blue or green or whatever. I don't know.
They're made up, so it can be whatever you want.
Do whatever you want. Did you just say orcs are made up? We don't need that kind of negativity in here.
Thorax said, I've only recently begun undercoating skin with magentas and purples, especially purple for orcs, and it has made a big difference in creating depth and realism.
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. And when we say realism, sometimes it isn't really that realistic, but it makes it feel more like it's alive. You know, because a lot of what we paint in fantasy, like this guy, not very realistic, but the skin, when we look at it, feels more like it could have been alive, ghoulish, unhealthy, you know, because of the colors that I chose. And I typically, on larger surfaces, like to paint with the underpainted colors rather than glazing over the top of the skin, because glazing over the top of the skin makes it feel like those colors are over, like spilled on the skin sometimes. And, you know, when we look at skin, it has all those colors in it, but they're not on top. It's subdermal, right? The skin color itself, whatever tan, you know, fleshy color, dark browns, olives, whatever the flesh tone you're going for is, all the other colors come from underneath. So I like to paint those colors very vibrant on the model to where it almost looks silly, and then glaze the skin tone back over like you're laying the skin over the blood and the guts, like some sort of scientific model, like a, you know, a anatomical model or something like that. And it just gives you a lot more richness to the way the color lays on there. It does require you to, you know, be confident in your glazing skills. You know, we did the same thing here in the magenta. As you can see on him, we used dark magenta over a zenithal prime on him, and then glaze the skin tones back over that, and so we have more of an irritated flesh look, you know, than what I did here, where I sank most of the magenta away so that it just felt like it was the blood and the blood vessels on the big guy, right? But here, it's for that irritated flesh look, so I left more of it showing. But same concept.
Hoosiers, Ryan Wallace beat me to it. Space Force. There you go. Be a Space Marine.
And on Hulk, we did the same thing, dark magenta, but I just left it in the recesses in between the muscles of his six-pack and such, so that it just, again, gave the idea that if you cut him, maybe he'd bleed red. That's all it's for. You don't see very much of it, but where you do, it's like around where the veins are popping out and stuff, and so it just gives it a little bit more depth and realism. You see it a lot on his feet.
That Hulk is so mad, by the way, because Jason took away his tutu.
Damn you and your tutu. I've hidden that thing. It is gone.
That is Cherubael. I remember that.
Cherubael.
I probably wouldn't have remembered it if I hadn't read the name, but I remember it now that I see the name.
Cherubael. It is Cherubael.
That Hulk is pretty. He's prettier when he's wearing his tutu.
Whoosh.
Shelby made him a tutu.
Tutu is damn funny, but it's just way too big.
It is a little bit big. Needs
Way
some
too
alterations.
Very big.
Blue-blooded creatures actually use copper to carry oxygen. That is kind of odd. mean, you're not going to see him putting the bristles in his mouth. The man only has 2 hands.
What do you mean?
Ghost Hunter said, "Hey, I thought brushes didn't go in mouths."
Did I put the brush in my mouth?
You were holding the brush in your mouth.
Oh.
You do that often. Do you not
Oh,
realize
just to hold it like I put my pencil in my hat,
Yes,
too.
exactly.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, but I did, don't I? It's almost like without thinking.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you just did it. Game delay getting all sciencey over here with blood and molecules and
Like that.
put your brush in your headphones, like tucked it behind your ear, kind of. I'm confused when I couldn't find it.
Yeah, I do that with pens and pencils and straws. Like if I go out to pick up fast food or something and they give me the straw not in the bag,
Oh, he'll put it.
I'll
behind
put
his
the
ear, in his
straw
hat.
in my hat.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like,
forget.
they didn't give us straws.
Everyone's pointing at him. Yeah, I've looked for my glasses while wearing them. Same with my phone. I've looked for that while it's in my pocket. We're all in this together. Call back to yesterday. How many bodies worth of blood is in a buttload of blood? Lots.
22.
C. Williams 999 said, "Ever since I started using purple as a shadow tone for my flesh, my face painting has improved a lot. I've also used black green, Payne's gray, and dark plum, wet blended with flesh tones, and the results were really interesting. Thanks for this tip."
Nice. Love to hear it. Yeah, some of the things sound pretty strange, right? And till you really see it happen and you get the feel of it live on your own model and you compare it to something else you've done and you're like, oh yeah, even if it's subtle, you don't have to be able to see much of it, right? Like he's got the dark purple as the shadow color for his flesh, and we don't really see a lot of the dark purple, but it is there, right? It's like on the underside of his knee there, you get a lot of it. Same on the inside of the calf muscle on his left leg, of course, behind the arms, things like that. It just puts into light and darkness and gives you that perspective a lot better. So that can change a lot of the depth of a model from what you're used to in your painting, and then just keep pushing it.
Are you saying that people are 22 butts big, or that there are 22 people's worth of blood in a buttload? I think we determined that a buttload is like 120 gallons or something like that. So the second one, game delay. Yeah, vampires.
What about vampires?
There are 22 people's worth of blood in a buttload for sure. Game Delay said, Jeebus, that's a lot of blood. Who's getting that much blood? And Ghost Hunter said, Dracula. Vampire costume. When I was teaching, there was a book that it was new at the time, and it for teenagers, about a teenage vampire, and he lived with his aunt or something like that, you know, kind of like a Spider-Man, and he his aunt was a nurse, and she would bring home blood from the blood donation center for him.
Yeah, sure. Makes sense.
Today's live stream title: Blood and Butts.
Blood
No,
and
it
butts.
was not Twilight. It's called. It was called. It was called The Chronicles of Vladimir Todd.
Vladimir what?
Todd.
Todd?
T-O-D. Yeah. Chronicles of Vladimir Todd. They were cute. It was a series of books. 8th grade bites, 9th grade slays, 10th grade bleeds, 11th grade burns, and 12th grade kills.
All right, I think I'm just going to try dark ivory on its own as my brightest color. See how I like it. I mean, it fits. Not really a color I would think of for silver, but I'm liking where this is going.
Buttload is between 120 and 280 US. That's a big difference. But it is a serious load of butts, even if it were just 120. A butt is a cask holding between 108 and 140 gallons. Neat Snapple fact for the day. We have about a gallon a person. Punisher said, actually, it would be about 93 people's worth of blood in a buttload. Also, hope I don't get called into HR for Googling how much blood is in a human and converting it to buttloads.
I think that's great, by the way.
So I
Tell them to call us if they have a problem with you.
Yeah, I have to do
We'll stick up for
currency
you.
conversion. So I'll type in USD CAD and Google gives me, and I just type in the amount and it converts it for me. I'm imagining now gallons to buttloads.
Gallons to buttloads.
Between 108 and 140. It's like when they tell you, I'll be there between 8 a.m. and next Friday.
Cable guy hours.
For baseball season? $1 hot dog night at Minute Maid Stadium.
Minute Maid Stadium. Not a brand I would have thought was doing well enough to sponsor baseball fields.
Hot dogs are usually $11 a piece, but on Tuesdays they're $1. And I eat $80 worth. Applesauce Mouse said, forgive me if I already missed this, but the big teaser today is super exciting. When are they available online? Are you talking about the new paint sets?
Yeah.
Okay. They will be available on our website toward the end of April, beginning of May.
Yep.
We're hoping for the end of April, but throwing in the beginning of May just in case of what, I don't know, but just in case.
Hedging our bets.
Eat a hot dog in an inning and leave fat and happy. Spitfire, what team plays at Minute Maid Stadium? We are immersed.
Wait, I know this. The Eliminators. Eliminators.
No, there's no such team.
The Eliminators. Eliminators
No.
play at that stadium.
It's the Houston Astros, actually. A for effort, Jason.
It should have been the Eliminators. They had that one. Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, we have been in spring training mode around, well, not here directly, but spring training all over the valley right now.
Telemachus would be proud.
Thorax said, May 11th is my 28th wedding anniversary. I know what I'm going to ask for. More paints.
Awesome.
Good gift.
What do we think?
Looks good.
Color combo is kind of neat, huh?
Yeah.
Two colors.
Dark Seaben and Dark Ivory.
Dark Seaben and Dark Ivory.
Crazy.
Just playing around with a new combo.
Has Jason cleaned this brush yet?
No. You mean like with brush soap? No.
Doesn't usually when he's... You haven't used this one in a while, though.
What's that?
You haven't used this one in a while, right?
I've painted everything over the last, 3 months with these.
Oh, you... For some reason, I thought you were just using a regular Pro Synthetic.
No, not for a long time. I have had to grab some Pro Synthetics, like when I was basing the big stuff on him, I grabbed just a normal 6.
Maybe that's what I'm seeing, yeah.
And when I was dry brushing. But yeah, the only brushes that I've been using, I have 2 of these, number 2s, and neither one of them have been washed, or I think that might be a number 3. They're not labeled. This is the one I've been using the longest. You can start seeing the tip is starting to curl.
Slavic, the LGSs can order a couple weeks after Adepticon. They'll have the ability to order them. We like to let them get their orders in early so that they can have them in the stores as close to the same time as our launch date. Since we don't have an official launch date yet, we don't have a date when they'll be available for stores.
Yeah, we're hoping that the pre-order sheet goes out right when we get back from Adepticon.
But we send out lots of newsletters and stuff to our FLGS partners, so they'll know. They'll know when they're available. We send it out a couple times to remind them, so they'll get them. Chuck just told Jade that there's a gelato shop in the mall near the convention center. I will be a happy devil this weekend. I didn't know there was a mall near the...
You're right across the highway.
Will the new paints be available in the UK at the same time or perhaps a delay? Hopefully close to the same time.
Yeah, very close. Obviously, shipping and
their
customs
stuff.
is always out of our hands, but they have an order in right now, and they plan to add all that on there.
Yeah, we're already working on getting their order packed up to get it shipped out. Ghost Hunter, that's probably very annoying for them. Have they answered and said, we'll order them as soon as we can? Tell them they should pin it. Mateo, it's only $3.20. You got one more month. Have you been enjoying a little too much 420 today? Metallic set.
Is it not in stock? Why is it not in stock?
I'm checking on that right now.
Generally, when things go out of stock like that, they'll be in stock within a day or two. I don't know why the metallic set would be out of stock unless we had a couple of big distributor orders go in today, so that may have knocked some things out of stock. But they'll be on the chopping block for getting filled back up in the next day or so. Generally.
They're available right now on our website.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So now, how about that?
Now.
Super fast. They may have gone out earlier when Jacob put that in and then got filled right back up.
Maybe. I don't know. No, I don't think so. But... C. Williams, there is a metallic in one of our new sets. Adepticons has a metallic paint. Magnesium.
I really like that. Might have a new
new recipe for silver.
New recipe for steel. Right? We're going to put some other color on it to dark it and dingy it up, but just for the base steel, I really like that. That'd be great for swords. And again, for those of you out there who are interested, we've just done all of that steel on his shoulder with just those two colors. Dark ivory and dark sea bend.
Assume that when something here at Monument sells out, there's an alarm and flashing lights happening. No, we usually don't know about it. Well, Jason and I. Everybody else usually knows.
What's that?
When things are out of stock.
Oh.
Do you have the magnesium on anything in the area, or can you show it on something?
Did he probably took his salamander, right? I haven't used it on anything other than just for testing. If I don't.
Do you have a bottle of it, though, that you could show?
I have a bottle of it, yeah.
Yeah.
It is an amazing color. It's a, just to show you. Secret reason for these streams is an early warning system for out of stock stuff.
No, because usually when people ask, like, when's this going to be back? I look, I'm like, it's in stock. What are you talking about?
Magnesium is a very odd in-between white and yellow metal color. Meant to, if you've seen like a tarnished silver or something like that, it has a lot more gray to it and not just the brownish yellows. So it's a fantastic color. Hard to see because it's so shiny, but On camera, it looks a lot more yellow than it really is. Great color.
It's because everybody's gone. It's just us. Everyone's gone over there. They're making all the noise.
Oh, you out of here? Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
guess so, huh?
Yeah.
I
yeah.
will.
Have a good time, too.
You know where to get me if you have any questions or
Yeah.
issues
Yeah.
crop up.
See you tomorrow.
Tell the kiddo goodbye.
Oh,
Spitfire Miniature said, Jason, you know what you have to do now.
What's that? What do I have to do now?
Oh, lemonade or yellow.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Oh, Corvus Thorax said, I worked in a machine shop when I was 17 and caught a whole pile of magnesium shavings on fire. Toasted my eyebrows off. I looked like a bald choya for a few weeks.
Not good, but funny.
You should change
Good story
machine
after
shop
the fact.
stories with Chuck.
Yeah, good story after the fact.
Oh, Jade, good. After everyone's gone. Keep it for myself. But I will share it with everyone else who stayed here with me.
Are they sending you snacks?
What? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Not your business.
This is my life chat.
Oof, magnesium fire is no fun. Have you had that too, Chuck?
Works in a machine shop. Probably seen everything.
Yeah. Not at this shop.
People just drive trucks through walls there.
Yeah. Burning things was half the fun of chem lab in college. C. Williams said, my mate once lit a huge stack of magnesium in science class. Did not go well for him.
Oh, geez. It burns so hot so fast that it is pretty tremendous to...
Corvus said, mag flashes up so fast you don't realize it happened until you've peed your pants and lost your eyebrows.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's not like starting a fire.
Yeah.
It's just like, boom,
Ugh.
done. But it's not like other things that go up quick like that, right? Like some gases and stuff that are done and they don't stick around long enough to burn you. Magnesium goes so hot that it just balds you instantly.
Spitfire Miniatures, you know what? That's so funny because I have never heard that response. Spitfire said, I infuriated my English teacher in middle school because she said nothing rhymes with orange. And I said, no, it doesn't. That's so good.
That's tremendous.
That's so good. I don't know how I've never heard that before. Oh, Chuck, boring day today, huh?
I think that's good, right?
Yeah, sounds like. Especially the way things have been going lately.
Something to be thankful for.
Yeah. Because if I'm remembering correctly, something happened Monday and something happened yesterday. My friend used to send himself to the office when he would disagree with the teacher. Like, I'll see myself
I'll
out.
see myself out. Yeah, exactly.
I rarely sent kids to the office. Felt it was more torturous to make them stay in the classroom with me.
Definitely more unsettling to have to sit in that discomfort.
Yeah. Incident free since Carl left. 3,600 left out of the 12,000 boxes they had to sort through.
Oh, because of the recalled truck?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. Hitting. Oh, I'm like, why am I having such a hard time here? It's because these damn claws that are just black primer that I can't see.
Oh.
Keep hitting the brush when I try to get this in. I'm like, what is going on? You've had police escorts to school because you were bad? I feel like if you're getting police escorts to school, you're probably not going to school. If by school, do you mean like juvie?
Is it something that we're bragging about?
Are we talking about the same thing here, Mo? Are you saying juvie?
Mo, are you the president? Secret Service?
He's like, I remember too, Chuck. Some of us care.
Others of us taunt people with paint they can't buy. Hey, I'm not painting. That's not me.
It's hard. Ghostar says it's hard to tell how cool the shoulder plates will be with the big black soaking all of the attention. The back piece here. It's like all he is this big fur hump. That's like 50% of the model is fur hump. Got a shipment of Harley camshaft parts back from the heat treat and saw unexpected growth in the superfine thread. So you get to redo the threads basically on 1,200 parts.
Dances with Cats. This is Adepticon. It looks remarkably like our regular stream studio.
The M20 1.5, is that the lifter block screw? No. You said camshaft parts. Harley has like a lifter block screw that is machined, and it's specific to their parts. Like you can't get them anywhere. Quarter 24 or some stupid crap like that. You now love the thought that Mo is secretly a close relative of the president, but we don't know which one.
Jade had to use your teacher voice today. Love it.
Look close at the fur hump. There's tons of tiny soles and stuff in there. Oh, no. There is.
Philip gets to paint the rest of his model.
I'm done, Phil. Oh, it's not even a... Oh, I see. It's a Terrorgeist skin. Because there's the Terrorgeist, the thing, or a big bat. Yeah, it's got like heads in it.
We can't see that.
Skulls and faces and heads. The heck with that. Give me the green stuff. We're turning all that into fur. Anybody got time for that?
Ooh, they're all laughing at you.
Anybody got time for that? This is not funny. Why are you laughing? This is not funny. There's only like a couple from the front, so maybe we just don't paint the back. Philip, have fun with the rest of your model.
What you painting? Well, maybe nothing. This might go back to Philip.
Yeah, what you painting? Nothing anymore. I had fun up to now. I'm done. I told him I'd paint the skin, the cloak, and the shoulder plates. There,
Who do you
finished.
think? You're almost done with the task, but then you find out the truth.
Damn it.
Jason just unlocked hard mode. Hard mode.
And Alt F4'd the game. Yep, I'm done. I broke the controller. Oh, no.
It's funny that GW would do that. Were they bored at work? Jason, that's the same "oh no" I used when I found out about the 12,000 part return.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't
blame
doubt
Source.
it. That
Source
is the
is the
kind
one
of how
that
that oh
ruined your
no
day.
was. That's how it felt to me, by the way.
Mo said, "I'm laughing at you, not with you, Jason."
Yeah. Yeah, I also forgot to paint his ears.
GW models are never over detailed with too many bojangles and doodads.
That's a lot of doodads that I didn't see. I thought, oh, good, big fur thing. That'll be fast. Well.
Heavy
God.
Metal circa 2008. Can we see a 360? About that.
Oh, my God. I don't even want to count them.
What model is this?
It doesn't matter.
Phillips.
Big dumb guy with gribbly bits in his
Big
fur.
dumb guy.
Big dumb guy. He was cool a minute ago. Now you're stupid. The big stupid model.
We're so excited about the armor.
Big stupid dumb model. Yeah, at least I found a new cool silver non-metallic metal combo I like. That was good.
Bread said, "Man, it's been way too long since I've heard Jason's dulcet tones."
Uh-oh. Who's that?
Bread. I feel a little weird saying that name, but
Who is
whatever.
Hobread? Did you used to have a different name?
Well, get out the Dremel. Time for some modifications.
That's what I said. Green stuff. I'm just going to sculpt it into fur. I'm going to sculpt it to what I expected it to be.
Who's your favorite Odysseus handing you a Trojan horse, and why is it Philip? Method for the silver was dark sea ben and dark ivory.
But two-color non-metallic metal.
Two-color non-metallic metal.
Have at it. Just mix in more and more of the dark ivory as you go.
A rolling bread, I remember that.
Oh, okay.
I remember I would get hungry. It was back in the day when we had a lot of food-named people.
I'm like, I do not remember this name. But I remember that name.
I do. Is a rolling bread. I feel like you were not in the U.S., if I'm remembering correctly. And may have been a teenager back then? Or is that another food person?
Is that another food person? Jen's going deep right now.
It's weird sometimes what I remember.
This is like one of those Jeopardy moments. How close is she?
Oh my gosh, I was right.
Isn't that crazy?
Been out of the hobby for about a year and a half. Also, yeah, I'm in Scotland. Would have been a teen, now 20. Look at me.
That's incredible.
Don't ask me what we talked about in our meeting this morning, but I can tell you about someone who watched our stream 2 years ago.
I mean, I hope you remember a little bit about our meeting.
I do. Wanderer DG just snagged the metallic set and Ben's set. Want to try that combo for some Genosha units. Roaring Oblivion said my next NMM is going to be 3 steps. 1, lie down. 2, try not to cry. 3, cry a lot.
Yeah, I hear you on
Oh,
that.
You can do it.
We have faith in you.
Here's the thing. Start with a really small little thing.
Yeah.
Like the first thing I did, and maybe the only thing at this point still, was a little corgi. A little like...
He was a wizard or something?
It was like a Dungeons and Doggos.
Dungeons and Doggos, I think.
Corgi holding a lantern. And I did NMM gold on the little lantern. And it was like, yes. Shelby, also a new painter. Same thing. She did NMM gold on something really small, and it looked fantastic. And that just gives you the confidence to...
Yeah, picking big things. I mean, this is not, it may not seem big, but the shoulder plate would be fairly daunting because of the shape. Like spheres give people a little bit of problem to get it to look the way you want. So might be a little much. A sword is probably really good. These bracelets would be pretty good because they're just cylinders. So stuff like that, more simple shapes would be good. You can get your shine lined up really well, and it doesn't take a lot to make it look good because the shape itself has a lot of contrast spots in it, Whereas something like this is a little bit more difficult. This one has the layered armor panel that gives it some contrast points baked in, but other than that, it's a little rough. Like doing Space Marine shoulder pads, probably not the best place to start. Not impossible, but...
C. Williams wants to know if you ever do any of the heavy body style of painting that, for the heavy titanium and heavy warm white.
How do you mean, like loaded brush style stuff?
I'm assuming that's what it means. Do you ever do the heavy body? Where'd it go?
I use the heavy body colors a lot.
The heavy body style of the previous signature sets.
The like for tip loading and stuff is not, it's something that I am proficient at. It's not something I use a lot of because it doesn't really fit the style that I paint, because I do a little bit more heavy-handed texturing. But yeah, it's a great method of painting.
Yeah, Mo said, I would like to point out that... Oh, are you talking about me? Or everyone in chat? Because I'm reading it as this applies to everyone in chat. I would like to point out that you have Jason as a coach who does some of the best non-metallic metal out there.
Why, thank you, Mo.
But you guys all have it too. Because you're watching.
Also true.
I don't know that he helped Shelby.
I didn't help Shelby.
No. Jordan may have.
I think Jordan's been helping Shelby.
Yeah, but
I haven't
don't
worked
think
with Shelby
Jason
at all
helped Shelby with her non-metallic metal.
on painting. I mean, she's probably asked me some stuff, but I have not sat and painted with her.
Roaring Oblivion said, my brain doesn't know where to put the reflections, let alone when there's multiple surfaces near each other like Dante.
Yeah, that's the toughest thing, right? Non-metallic metal, what I call reflective surface painting, and that's how you'll hear us discuss it around here a lot, is tough because of realizing that every time you get a reflection on a surface, the more reflective that surface is, the more that becomes a light source and carries on to reflections on other bits of the model. So again, this is one of those where, like right now in March, our Discord challenge is to use reference photos to achieve something cool on a model. And I'm hoping to see a lot of people do non-metallic metal, because those reference photos are what will get you through. Like for painting the shoulders on him, I could have pulled up a reference photo for steel bearing, ball bearing, to get an idea of how a sphere, will create shine. And then I have to expand on that because I'm not going to find a sphere with these layered and flange on the armor and all that stuff. So I got to get creative. But just like everything else on the model, the bright spot faces your light source. So start with that. Even if you don't go for a realistic reflection on your armor and such, just starting with, hey, whatever's pointing towards my light source gets brighter and everything else gets darker, gets you 80% of the way there. I mean, that's all we did with the Dante that I painted. You know, when we talk about Dante, I mean, all that is, you know, a dull gold where all the highlights kind of go towards the light source, and then it's picking and peaking your shine towards the edges so that you get that metallic feeling, right? Some specular highlights and such, but you know, it's not. We did this super fast. This was not a ton of effort because it's painted almost like I would paint an ultramarine. You know, I just went a little bit brighter with the highlights than I would normally go, as opposed to, you know, when you're doing a little bit more detailing and you've got very complicated patterns. You know, this guy's got a lot going on the armor, so this gives you a lot of spots to have to pay attention to. How do the reflections work? What's going to hit where? Where are shadows going to fall? Because where you have shadows on metal turn into more than just shadows. They turn into dark reflections, right? So like the reflection from the underside of his shoulder up here. I'm pointing at it with another model. You know, the dark part up underneath of this shoulder plate causes a darker reflection on the panels down below. So you don't paint it just like shadow, you enforce more darkness because it's reflecting the dark part of this above, right? So that's what we refer to it as, you know, reflective surface painting, because you've got to think about all the things in the environment around the piece that might cause it to have, you know, a darker reflection, like the arm causing a dark reflection on the rib cage, but then a bright shine where the reflection that's hitting this part of the arm is being shown here, right? Same down below, where we've got the cloak, right? The burgundy of the cloak reflecting into the armor from behind as well. So you've got to be thinking about those things the more you want to put more realism into it, you know. But again, it's just kind of...
That one is so cool.
It's a neat model.
Is that the
Death Knight?
Yeah. Clarkatron, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub.
And then everything in between. You know, there's some really, really simple non-metallic metal. Like we droned up Heine's Dookie Gold chain in no time. You know?
Well, huzzah,
With mostly like burnt
Good.
oranges and
Throw
yellow
back my legs
ochres,
and pollute my
and then
britches
tipping
with
it all
delight.
off with like pale yellow. So it's not a lot of colors, but you know, again, it's really just making sure that the brightness goes toward the light and that you have less of a blend from your bright color to your dark color, right? The shinier something gets, the more contrast it will have. And that's really the goal, is to kind of turn your brain upside down from what we're used to, where we want to blend things smoothly over a distance from your dark color to your bright color, and you create a blend that goes all the way through. That's how we paint 90% of the time, you know, anytime we're painting color. And then when you want to paint metals and reflective surfaces like plastic and glass, you shorten that. You don't have that big blend in between them. You have your dark color and your bright color sometimes right next to one another, and the colors that go in between don't blend over a long distance. They blend very short. And that's what gives it that reflective quality, right? Because you'll see, like on his shoulder plate, right? We've got very dark colors next to my brightest color on the shoulder. And that's what makes it seem reflective.
Oh, Brad, the challenges are posted in, like if you're looking in the menu of the Discord, you'll see Challenger's Den. Yeah, Challenger's Den, and then it'll say March 2024. There's a pinned post at the top of that channel to give all the instructions.
Roaring Oblivion, that's a great way to do it. And what a lot of people will do is they'll start and they'll just paint it with the bright color or the base body color. If you're doing gold, doing like yellow ochre, and then highlight, do a base tone, yellow ochre, highlight, and then go back and paint your shadows and your dark reflections in with the darker paint. If that works better in your head, that's definitely a doable thing. I'm trying to think if there's anything I have here that would kind of show that. Really? You can imagine, like, if I had just done this shield with the yellow ochre up through to the brightest colors and then painted in the dark reflective lines on here and blended them. To me, I'm always ready to start from dark and work to light. It works better in my head, but there's nothing that says you can't do the opposite, right? It's going to create the same effect at the end of the day. You don't care which color goes on first. It's more a matter of just making it to where the darkness and the brightness sit close enough together to give the illusion of shine, of that reflectiveness.
You're in a monumental hobby Discord. That sounds like a designer imposter.
I'm going to play with bright pale yellow
Very
now.
confusing.
I would normally do what I'm about to do with pale yellow, but bright pale yellow now. So this chain sleeve that we're seeing here, I did in first the Payne's Gray, switching away from, so I had Payne's Gray. Now I'm adding a little bit of that bright pale yellow.
Corvus, you have a 2-hour commute home?
Brutal.
Wait, and you're in Phoenix. That sounds well, I'm
West
so
to east,
sorry.
east to west.
Yeah, are you going from one side to the other?
That feels
Even that
like
wouldn't
a
be too, well, I guess in rush hour traffic.
that feels like a Mesa or Gilbert to Glendale kind of commute.
Oh, I thought you were. Didn't you say you have a client across the street from us? But 2 hours sounds actually short for California. Is bright pale yellow from Flamon's?
Is from what?
Is bright
Flame
pale
On set,
yellow
yep.
from Flamon's set? Okay.
From Flame On set. This model. This model.
As a reminder, this is our last stream until next Tuesday.
Yep.
We've got our Adepticon crew out of the office right now, and they are pretty much everyone who would stream.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah,
All
Jordan's
of
gone. Gabe and Christopher and Shelby are gone. Philip's gone. Not that he streams too much. And then Jason is leaving bright and early tomorrow morning. Go to find a good VOD that you haven't seen. Pretend it's live.
just don't get mad when we don't answer your questions.
Yeah.
And just like we did with the Dark Sea Ben, I'll just add more of the bright pale yellow, excuse me, into the mix as we go. You can see my...
You've seen all of them? Really? All of them? Not possible. Game Delay is so worried about his stream streak. Whenever you change stream schedule, it clearly messes with my head because I did wake up with a nightmare that I lost my stream streak. James Matthias said, hi, I started painting in August 2023. I started with Army Painter's Speed Paints, moved to Citadel and Vallejo, but recently discovered Pro Acryl and I am in love.
Awesome.
Yay! Says, I feel like a pro when I use them.
Haha, that's the whole thing. People go, well, why'd you name it Pro Acryl? It's like, because a good tool can make everybody feel better about their craft. And you can definitely feel like a pro using our paint. Usually without much effort at all. So glad you're seeing it. That's awesome. And
Joe
welcome to the hobby, by the way.
Yes. Joe Cylon, are you going to be at Adepticon? Because if you're going to be at Adepticon, the answer is they will be available for sale tomorrow. If you are not going to Adepticon, they will be available at the end of April or beginning of May. Okay, I won't either. So we're in this together. But you guys can get them. Those of you who are not going to Adepticon will be able to purchase the new Rogue Hobbies, Flame On, and Adepticon sets on our website or at your local store if they carry our line at the end of April, beginning of May. Hobred, yeah, if you don't have our old titanium white, that should be your next purchase.
See what I'm doing right now with something like Chain Link is I'm just doing it like it's normal paint. I'm pulling my highlight up towards my brightness. My brightness is kind of right here off of this shoulder. So I'm pulling my highlight up towards the brightness. And then I will continue to do that, but I will just stop short of where I might normally push a highlight when I'm blending a normal color and jump straight to something brighter. Like this is probably as bright as I'll go with this mix before just jumping to the pale yellow by itself.
Punchboard Champion said, I just started painting in November and my base set with expansion 1 just shipped out today.
Awesome.
So excited.
I love hearing about new painters.
I know.
What drew you guys and gals to the hobby?
Yeah.
Where'd you find out about it? Was it through video games, friends, comic store? Did you do other nerd hobbies that this one just kind of was adjacent to and you jumped into it finally? Coming back to it after a bunch of years? I always love hearing this story.
General Ginkgo said, if you're looking for a good stream to rewatch, January 5th of this year is pretty good. Starts with Jason doing a shot of Dayquil. I think that means it's supposed to say shot of Dayquil. Sam Hubbard said, will you have any presence at UK Games Expo, or are there booths there stocking Pro Acryl?
Element Games will be there. They're one of our distributors.
Probably there.
We will not be there, I don't think. We plan to attend, but it probably won't be until next year. We always have a hard time trying to figure out how to coordinate with our distributors and people over there to have a presence that makes sense.
Somebody likes us.
But we need to get
Faith
out.
or LV, thank you for the follow. Source said 30 years of playing with gray plastic figures is what drew me to it.
Oh, well, there you go.
Gosu said I had read a ton of Warhammer books, was going to get into Warhammer Fantasy, then I learned they blew up the world and I got mad. Then started reading Heresy and got into painting when Heresy 2.0 came out.
Nice.
Paint Liquor said D&D, then I discovered the art side. Board gamer for years, but wanted to paint minis.
Nice.
C. Williams was the Lord of the Ring figures.
Yeah, because so many board games nowadays have got good quality minis. They used to just have either crappy little meeple or, minis that were just kind of so-so. Now, with the advent of better and better sculpts reaching into that world, I think it leads people to be like, oh, this would look really bitchin' if I painted it.
It might be my favorite question that you've ever asked, because I'm loving all of these answers. They're all so different. Froggy Sense said I watched Ricky's Warhammer video and wanted to get in on it. Ghost Hunter started painting because it was a hobby that I didn't need anybody else to do, unlike D&D and Magic. My friends are unreliable.
Yep.
X-Ray, a buddy of mine introduced me, showed me Massive Darkness, and I never looked back.
Awesome.
Dom's Minis, my best mate bought me a box of Orlocks for Christmas in 2002, or 20, I don't know, it just says 202, and said, hey, try this. Now I'm broke.
Now I'm broke. Yeah, I feel your pain.
Oh, Brett said, my dad's been in the hobby since second edition. It was only a matter of time before he got me interested. 5 years later, I'm still learning new things and trying to better my painting game.
Awesome. All great.
Oh, James Matthias, I spent too many years believing my hands were too big and shaky and my eyes too bad. Finally decided to stop gaslighting myself and just start denting the sea of gray I had amassed.
And that is the case. It is kind of self-gaslighting because painting can be done by anybody in lots of different ways. You don't have to, if you don't feel like you have the patience or, the know-how to push the limits, don't worry about it. Have fun with it. There's so much you can accomplish.
Dances with Cats said I had always wanted to play D&D. When I was young, a friend's father did a couple of sessions, and the box had miniatures. We tried to paint them with these enamel paints, and I just did not get it. Jade took a painting class with Kefa at Gen Con 2022. He had your paints for the class and was praising them. I was in love with them in the first 5 minutes.
Awesome. So yeah, I will not make another leap in color. I won't blend anymore. So, we went from Payne's gray, the darkness there, to I kind of covered it all up. But the next higher color and then this third color. And then now we're going to go from this brighter blue that I just did, right, to this. Okay? And the idea being this is what gives you the shine, is the differentiation in your bright color versus all of the other colors underneath. And this is where you have to start getting detailed. So my brightest section should be right about here. So I'm just going to pull down that link. Over here, a little bit here. 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 And then a little bit less as I get away from my light. I still want to have some reflection to it, but less. More like where, you have a stray link pulling away from the grouping.
Dances with Cats said now that I'm older and can spend my adult money on cool things I like D&D figures, and that's how I got into painting. Roaring Oblivion said a friend recommended an LGS and I found out about Warhammer Fantasy. I saw Lizardmen in 2004 and the rest is history.
Awesome.
Like Source does, Chuck had too many years of green and red dragons that were all kind of gray.
They were all kind of gray.
Teeny Tiny Victory said my partner got into it over COVID and tempted me in with the painting. Still yet to play anything.
Don't feel bad. I don't play much.
I don't get to paint very often, but I don't play at all. Painting is the way. Slavic said my brother-in-law said, hey, let's get into Warhammer, and now I'm here with 7 armies and a ton of paints.
Awesome.
X-Ray, and I got introduced to your paints too through the rabbit hole of YouTube and saw the amazing quality they were through Ninja.
John.
Source says that Game Delay got into the hobby because.
Well, of course.
I
I'm
mean,
surprised that's the
everybody
first time
does.
somebody's admitted to it here in chat. Actually,
said that. Steve Schmidt had a bunch of friends all buy Start Collecting boxes that I joined in, and that's that. Only one of them still plays? That's a bummer. Captain Mannering's back in the early 90s. It was the art in WD and the books.
White Dwarf.
Oh, then I started painting minis for people since I knew how to paint model planes and boats. Stopped for 25 years and came back to the hobby during COVID. A lot of people came back.
Yep, definitely.
Yep. General Ginkgo got into it when everything was shut down. My son was a newborn to pass the time. It's become my favorite way to unwind after a long work day.
Awesome.
So good.
Yeah, so many people learn when they just give it a shot that the therapy that painting can bring, self-therapy, is that a good word?
Yeah.
It's just meditative.
Yep.
The same way that meditation will get you, some self-therapy, painting can. It can just zone you into this little world of, big ugly dudes like this.
Yeah. Game Delay said 4 years ago, someone asked me what something was that I've always wanted to do and pushed me to do it. It took 2 more years before I got going, but then it filled my entire life.
Very cool.
And he also said that it's true but unrelated, that he has a crush.
True but unrelated.
Sam Hubbard started when I bought Imperial Assault and saw Sarastro's tutorials. That convinced me to give it a go for myself. Was terrified I was going to ruin my figures, but best hobby I could hope to find.
Awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
I
good.
think is way more repetitive of an answer than a lot of people think, especially with like Imperial Assault, right? Because the Star Wars properties, X-Wing, even though X-Wing wasn't really a hobby game, a lot of people would see people doing repaints and maybe jump into it there because, oh my gosh, it's Star Wars. Or now with the Marvel games and such, you get a lot of people who are jumping in and doing modeling, and then of course the painting jumps in there too for the first time. So I love that.
Real DiCaprio said, in a board game convention, had nothing to do for a while, and people invited me to paint a Stormcast. Had been a Warhammer 40k lore fan for years, so I said, I guess I can pass an hour doing that fantasy thing. Year and a half and 60-minute minis later, damn, I love this. Perfect match for my role-playing and board game hobby.
Nice.
Chuck said, painting is something Jade and I can do together and have a quiet evening after a rough work day. This is like making me teary.
It's great, right?
So much.
That's what makes this community great, is that people from all walks of life can enjoy this for their own reasons, but when you really sit down and discuss it, you find that we all kind of get the same thing from it. Regardless if you play the game, there's people that are like painting to play. But if they really draw back and think about the time they spend painting, it's like, yeah, it's kind of relaxing. Unless it's getting ready for that tournament, unless you waited to cram for the exam the night before, like some people do. Yeah, I love it. It draws people together. I love, like, at Adepticon, as is always the case, I'll meet thousands of people that are from all walks of life, but we're all nerds.
Yeah.
Big dudes riding motorcycles. Firefighters, police officers, metal workers.
Yeah.
Right?
C. Williams said, do you think that random number generating a group of paints for a model is a beneficial learning tool or something that is a waste of time?
I don't know that painting is ever a waste of time, and if you push yourself into those kind of crazy challenges, we do that on our Discord, obviously, then that can do a lot for pushing your understanding of color. Like if you do, like in your case, RNG, and you give yourself 10 paints or 5 paints or whatever, and you get these paints, and you look at them, you're like, holy hell, what am I going to do with this? Well, you have to start mixing, right? You have to start playing to get the colors you want, or finding unique ways to use the colors in front of you if you're not mixing, right? And so those kind of challenges may not lead to a finished model that you're super proud of in terms of what it, like if you paint a Space Marine, it's not going to be like a Space Marine that you were like, yeah, I really meant to do this. But it might be something you're super proud of, and that I worked with 5 colors and made it look like this. And that will give you the knowledge you need and the understanding and confidence of using colors outside your kind of comfort zone to be able to do more. Right? It's like when I talk about me painting, a lot of times, you guys goad me and stuff, but I sit and I don't really have a plan. I just don't want to start with these colors. And the confidence that I have from painting for over 45 years now, leads me to where I'm not afraid of color, right? You can tell me to use whatever color and we'll make it work somehow, right? Again, it may not be the thing, like when they told me to paint the bear pink, right? Okay, well, if I'm going to paint something pink, how am I going to make it something that I'm proud of having done pink? And so we threw a bunch of, we made a wash out of the dark magenta, right? Or the magenta and the red transparent. And, we did my typical purple undertone and all that. We painted it up super quick with some dry brushing and all that. And we had a model that looks great, that happened really quick, that isn't a color that I'm comfortable painting. I don't really think in terms of using pink as the color you see. But when I am pressed to do so, it's like, okay, well, what can I do to make it work? And so I think it's kind of the same thing, not as random as what you're talking about, but it's something that pushes you outside your comfort zone and allows you to learn more about painting in general and find cool stuff. I mean, I just found a cool combo for, you know, the non-metallic shoulder plate there that is not something I would normally have come up with, and I love it. I think I want.
Paint Looker said, imagine joining the hobby through John and not Daryl, who's the real Callan.
Through who?
Daryl. Daryl, his alter ego.
Oh, Daryl.
Roaring Oblivion said, I have bad analysis paralysis. I need a couple crash test dummy miniatures to practice on until I have confidence to touch my favorite models.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine.
We have a thing called a texture trainer that you should look into.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole reason why we made the texture trainers, right? Is because there are times where you just want to practice something, and while they're cool models that you can just paint to have finished models, you know, there are also things where you can practice painting hair. And because it's a $20 model that you can paint 1,000,000 times, right? You can paint it as much as you need to get the feel and to practice hair. Paint black hair, then prime over it and paint brown hair, and then paint blonde and whatever, you know. The whole idea is that they give you a lot of textures, you know, maybe it's carbon fiber or plastics on the gun, you know, and his hair on the beard and a cloak and, you know, blue jeans and, you know, leather on her. So, you know, that's the whole point of that series of models, is to allow you to have a way to just test yourself and practice painting different materials.
Teeny Tiny Victories, I really got deeply into it when Louise launched her channel. Her community is so wonderful and friendly. Have you seen her Acryl signature set?
Louise is great.
Amazing.
Great attitude, great love of the hobby and the nerd lore and everything about it, right? She's just a very genuine person. That's why, you know, I reached out to her originally, and she had found out about us and was hoping to talk to us, and we just kind of crossed paths again, and that was great. It was a good hookup because she is everything that embodies what's great about the hobby. She carries an energy with her. She genuinely loves seeing people become interested and excited about the hobby. I'm just using brown wash right now, by the way, to dirty up the stuff that I painted.
Extrian said, I've never seen a more welcoming community than those of the hobbyist nature like this. It's been amazing, and ultimately the reason my best friend is my best friend.
Awesome.
Yeah. Dances with Cats, I slowly got my brother into the hobby. I gave him a starter set, some clippers and glue. Weeks later, here's some paints and brushes. Weeks later, here's an airbrush and compressor. Years later, we're in a local game club playing weekly games.
That's awesome.
So good. Jade loves the process of starting with a blank slate and throwing color at it to create art. Whatever my brain comes up with for a backstop of what the figure is doing or represents.
Yeah, because we
exactly, Game Delay, you got it.
Art is storytelling. Sometimes you're just telling yourself a story. Sometimes you're sharing your story with the world around you. The cool thing about this is that a lot of it happens within another story that's been defined by like Games Workshop or, you know, whomever. And that is really cool. You know, I'm painting this guy. I don't know anything about him. This is Phil's model for his Flesh Eater Quartz. Usharan or something like that. You know, so I don't know anything about the story of this guy other than a little bit from the old world. But I do know, you know, in terms of the world he's being played in, you know, that Warhammer Fantasy exists, and I can kind of in my head tell my own story in color, or sometimes it doesn't have to fit any of the narrative of the game at all. I don't give a damn. I'm just painting the model.
Actually, what did I say that you were typing at the same time? Is it about the texture trainer?
What's that?
Oh, Game Delay said Zombicide. I'll say it all day. Zombicide was my box full of crash test dummies.
Yep. Yep, Zombicide's great.
Mo's asking for a texture trainer paint along.
Yeah, we'll probably be doing one. You're going to see us using the texture trainers once we have the larger library of them. There's 4 in this round 1, we'll call it, of doing texture trainers. And once we have all 4 of those, you'll see Jordan and I using them quite frequently on stream to answer questions, on our shorts that you'll see on our social media, and in all sorts of other avenues where we're showing you color and theory and all that kind of stuff. They're just great tools. in, just up and bolted. Gotta go check the doors. I love our washes.
Good trip, boss.
Get out of here. Thank you, man. I will see you back here. I'll be back, I think, next Monday night, Tuesday? Next Tuesday? I'll be in the office for exactly 2 days.
Oh, I was going to show you something.
And then I'll be off again.
That's my Bjorn the Fell-Handed I did for...
Oh, very cool.
I did it in a day.
I like it. No, it looks good.
I took third in the Ever Something brush contest that GW had.
Okay, yeah. Uh-huh. Ever chosen.
Ever
chosen. That's what it is.
I
Yeah.
took third.
Good. Oh, fantastic, man.
No,
Where's that up at? Like Old World?
No, that was in Oregon.
Oh, okay. Before you came down here. Gotcha.
What really pissed me off is the guy who beat me. It was a popularity contest, what it came down to.
Sure.
And I looked at this model, and he still had mold lines on it and stuff. I'm like, ah. But I said, I got a thing said I actually won something. So I'm all right.
Good. That's awesome, man.
Hey, like I said, you have a good safe trip.
Will do.
See you when we see you.
Yep. James showing off a Bjorn the Fell-Handed model that he had painted. All right, so now a little bit of flesh wash. I'm not even going to wait for the brown wash to dry. I'm just going to throw the flesh wash in here over the top. The flesh wash will give me a little bit of a rusty feel. For cheap. Don't have to spend too many skill points to get this. The only thing I have to be careful of here is making sure that I don't darken up my bright spots too much. So let's do it intentionally. See, this area is my bright spot underneath that hole. If we get too much wash on that, it changes the contrast of the whole model. So just take your finger and wipe that off. Get your brightness back, but leave that rust down in the creases.
Hi, Jason.
Hey!
Have a good trip.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Everybody coming to say goodbye to me. It's awesome. Thank you, Shannon.
You're welcome. Bye.
We will see ya. I love this company. We have such great people. You guys included. Chat, you guys count. I know. We don't say that to you very often, but it's true. Just don't tell Jen I said it. She'll get mad. I'm not supposed to tell you. I'm not supposed to give you guys ammunition against us. You do love us. We matter.
What'd you say?
What's that?
You were real nice to chat, it seems.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ectrian says, how does one become part of such an amazing company? You have to live in Phoenix, Arizona. First of all. Arondora, you wish you had your hobby space set up so you could join in? What are your washes like? Are they closer to old Citadel or Army Painter consistency behavior? More like old Citadel, Gnome, Agrax, and Reichland. Not exactly the color for the Agrax and the Reichland, but our brown and our flesh are patterned off of that. They have a pretty high tint strength and staining capability without leaving coffee stains all over the surfaces and such. Doing here, you're not going to tell the difference, right? It's just making the chainmail look gritty.
Jason told us we can get a whole half hour out of the basement. Been extra nice today.
Could you make a playlist of videos where you painted the texture trainers? Unfortunately, I think I did a lot of the texture trainer off stream, didn't I? Or did I paint it all on stream? Do you remember, chat? Who remembers?
You did a lot of it on stream, but I think maybe you did some of it.
I feel like some of it I did off stream, so it's not contiguous. But for what we have, I could put it on stream probably. We can have Gabe go back and take a look. And put it in a playlist. The next one will do that for sure, because I've got to start painting this guy next.
The one he did with Scott was a different one, which he's still not done with. Right? You're still
Punchboard,
painting.
that was a second one. That one was one that I was using just to play around with, using for what it is. That one's the box art one. I don't remember where the other one is. I think it's in my travel case. I use the other one when I go to shows or when I, travel to just have something to paint. You're waiting till they're in stock again? Are they out of stock?
Are they?
They shouldn't be out of stock.
What a bunch.
They sell so fast, though. We're working on that, too. But I could have sworn there were some in stock when I looked, like, just yesterday.
I put some in yesterday.
So maybe
Says
check
they're
again,
in
Stobor,
stock.
if you haven't checked in the last day or so.
They are in stock.
Yeah. Remember that because we manufacture everything, when something goes out of stock, you can sign up for it with your email, but it typically goes back in stock within a day or two on stuff like that. Sometimes a week, we say, just to be safe. Well, we were making some slow progress here.
Yeah, we have a pretty good amount of them right now, too. So.
Feel like he's starting to come together. I'm starting to get a better feel for what he's going to look like altogether. I need to get some color on the hump to make it all kind of pull in, because we just have this big clump of black primer. And once we have, some browns or whatever color we're going to do, I think dirty browns and tones like that, because it's 2 Terrorgeists is what it is. Here's one, and here's the other one, headwise. So it's like 2 Terrorgeists, or, big bat things for the fur on there. I don't know what this big mohawk is. Maybe that's his actual shark fin thing. And then we got to do the mace. I'll probably do it with some sort of, it looks all metal. I don't know if that's wood on the handle or not. I think it's all metal. Yeah, it's all metal. So I got to figure out what I want to do there. Do it like some dark, like black iron or something like that. Starting to come together. Phil should be happy. Will we even get Jason and Jen replica texture trainers? Well, I mean, Jen's kind of the first one, and everybody says I'm the second one, but I don't have as cool of a beard and braids. He has braids with beads on them. A little bit of a hippie.
We could get you some beard and hair extensions.
today somebody said it reminded them of the old Citadel wizard with a machine gun back from like the really old Citadel days.
I do have my own Space Marine.
Jen has been immortalized in a Space Marine. She's up here someplace.
Are you bringing the new texture trainer? No, they took some.
They took some new texture trainers.
Is the third texture trainer Cora? No.
Yeah, T. Schmidt. Psst, psst. If you're interested in a new texture trainer, ask somebody at the booth. Wink, wink. There's a very limited amount, like maybe a dozen that we took to the show
I think that's
that are
exactly
really for
the-
you guys that know about it and want to ask.
Don't tell anyone, but ask.
We're not really telling anybody about them. They're there. It's the third one, Cora. That would be great. It isn't. The third one's a really cool witch.
It is
Think
cool.
think Baba Yaga style witch type thing. He says that as he says it to 80 people. Well, not all of you are at Adepticon.
Exactly correct.
When does the
Yeah,
second one go up
Adepticon.
on the website? Probably when we are about ready to launch the new paints. Jen made a good point that when we release a bunch of new products, people get kind of bummed that they place an order and then new stuff came out and they got to place another order and shipping and all that stuff. So we may wait until the new paints come out. I have to paint the box art before we can make the label.
Yep.
So
It'll be around the same time.
so yeah, it'll take me a week or so to paint the box art. We'll do it on stream when I get back in April. So that first week of April, that's what I'll do on stream is I'll paint that texture trainer.
Jade, you should probably ask because again, it's just the people who are here in chat right now who are hearing this who will be at Adepticon. So yeah, there are 111 something like that people here right now, but not all of them are going to Adepticon. Only a few. T. Schmidt, we know, and you guys.
All right, gang. With much sadness, we're
Oh.
done.
Get my
We're
my
done.
links going here.
We're done until we're back. Did some metal shoulder plates today. Huzzah. You're not going this year, Mo? Maybe next?
This is the last stream, yes, until everyone gets back from Adepticon.
Game Delay says travel safely, but not you, Jen.
Yeah, thanks.
She still has to get home. And in downtown Phoenix traffic, that can be a struggle sometimes. Yeah, remember that this is the last stream because of Adepticon. I leave out tomorrow morning. Stop wiggling around there, buddy. I leave out tomorrow morning, and then we'll be back. Baby J will be back. I should be back Tuesday. We'll just see how it goes. But the stream will be live Tuesday.
Jordan will be streaming Tuesday for sure.
Yeah.
Depending on.
And then me just depending on workload and what happens while I'm gone at
might have a lot
Adepticon.
of
But we
stuff
plan to
to
be
catch
back
up
on Tuesday. And then Jordan and I leave Thursday of next week.
Yeah, so it's only 2 days of 2 days of Jordan streaming.
Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday we'll have the stream next week, and then Thursday, Friday we're at WonderCon in Anaheim. If any of you are going to WonderCon, it is San Diego Comic-Con's kind of PAX, so to speak. Lots of gaming and nerd stuff going on there. So if you're in the Southern California area and you want to go check out WonderCon, Jordan and I will be there. We're doing a big paint and take area with classes for new painters, so it'll be a lot of fun. We'll be there.
We may have backup streaming those days.
Yeah, I think we'll probably have streams for when
Because
we're
we'll have
gone there
Gabe
with
and
Gabe
Christopher
and
and
Chris
Philip
and everybody, you guys.
Matt and-
Yeah, so we got enough of a crew here then, because it's just Jordan and I gone for that.
We don't stream shows.
We can't stream that one, unfortunately. They did not allow us because San Diego Comic-Con is really stringent with the ability to show anything live at their events. Because of, like, IP restrictions and stuff. They don't want to get sued. So it's really crazy. They have, like, a whole board of directors that have to go through it, and they kind of voted it down. So we'll see about maybe in the future what we can do. But anyway, have a wonderful rest of your evening. Remember to follow us if you have not already. Pound that button. And did you already put the links up?
I put the links up.
So follow those links. We'd love to see you over in our Discord. You get a lot of updates and insider info on what's going on in the world of Monument Hobbies on the Discord channel. The FLGS and the store link, of course, will guide you to where you can find all of our products. Please buy local to you if you have a local gaming store that carries our stuff. If you don't have a local gaming store that carries our stuff, go kick your local gaming store owner right in the shins. Right in the shins.
Yep.
Scream, Monument told me to. and then kick them right in the shins and tell them to carry our stuff.
That's a great way to get them to want to buy from us.
Oh, they'll pay attention. They'll pay attention after that. We'll get attorney letters. It'll be lots of fun. And if you go to Adepticon, make sure to stop by our booth and say hi. I'll be there starting tomorrow afternoon through the weekend. So we'd love to see you. But stick around right now for a raid. If you're over on YouTube, might want to jump over to Twitch so you can catch more hobby goodness going on live on the Twitcheroonies. And make sure to follow and show some love in the chat we wind up in. And we will catch you guys after the weekend. Adios, gang. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye.